Girl crossed the border, made his way to Louisiana. He met a voodoo woman named Maria Fabiana. He boiled some frijoles, she added Creole spice. They conjured up a recipe for love at first bite. They got married in a hurry, built a little shack. If your John boat is running, you can go and get a snack. They serve cicada enchilada with the alligator pie, jalapeno margaritas that will punch you in the eye. I know it sounds a little crazy, but don't you knock it till you try. The cicada enchilada with the alligator pie. Maria's.
Welcome to Nashtalk, Saturday Night Live, and guess what, man? This is a really cool night. We're at Starstruck Farm, formerly owned by Reba McEntire herself. You know who she is, country, you got it down. She's currently a judge on The Voice, I believe, and I'm really excited at the moment because we got some singer-songwriters, Americana, and I've got the famous Scott Southworth.
Famous. I'm known by tens of people worldwide.
That's right. And we're here at the farm right now, about to do a songwriter round, writer round 8, right? Number 8. And he's one of the featured songwriter artists that's going to be performing for, a live audience tonight. And, well, first of all, welcome to Nashville.
Hey, Chris. How you doing,
How
man?
you doing, brother? Look,
Thanks for having me.
No, love it.
Thank you.
Glad to have you, too. Now, we just met a few minutes ago, but
we're like this.
Type,
I mean, I'm right here.
Thick as
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
I love it. So I know he's from Oregon originally, correct?
Yes. But of course, now if you say Oregon in Oregon, they know you're from Michigan.
That's
so
right.
so yes,
right.
yes, but yeah, I am from that area, the beautiful Pacific Northwest.
And I'm from the Midwest, Michigan.
That's right, in Michigan, and I have a bunch of family in Kalamazoo, so I love that area.
Oh, really? Kalamazoo?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. Nice. All right. So you ended up in Tennessee. You said you lived not too far from here when Reba actually had, right?
I used to live just down the road.
Okay.
She never once came and borrowed sugar. I offered it up. I said, anytime you need a cup of sugar, you come on over. But no,
So
she
you,
never
you
did.
just you didn't offer to pour her some sugar? Or
No. I mean, the 2 restraining orders in my life are enough. I didn't need one more.
2 restraining orders. Okay. Well, there you go. We're off to a good start. So tonight you're going to be playing as soon as. I don't even know who's playing it. Who's because you told me. Well, originally I thought you guys would just open up right at the inset, right?
Right,
now?
but apparently our my new friend Eddie is opening up, and then after that, Dan Maudlin, Dave Scott, and I will get up there and play songs that will make people's hearts swell and burst.
Swell and burst.
Well, they will. I just do whatever.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, how did you get into songwriting to begin with, and when?
I don't know, Chris. I mean, I know when was I started playing guitar when I was 17 years old.
17, okay.
And as soon as I figured out 4 chords, I just started writing songs.
Oh, wow.
So and just kept them in a little sock drawer, all these little scraps of paper with songs on them. So I've been writing forever and ever. Didn't realize they were country songs, but I was writing forever and ever.
So they were country songs, okay. Well, I know the description of music is more Americana. Now, is it country Americana? Like, explain that to the audience.
My personal, what I've done over the last several years is very, very traditional honky-tonk country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am traditional country. That's kind of the world that I live in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, that's great. Well, you're in the right place, Nashville, and here we are right outside of Nashville in Lebanon. So tonight you're going to hit the stage. Well, okay, like what you have your song, Nobody Leaves This Earth Alive, right? Is that
something
right
like how? What is that? Nobody Leaves This World. That's an old song. That's from like 3 albums ago. Nobody Leaves This World Alive. I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
I think should I know the name of my own songs? Should I know what they're called? Dan loves that song, so I don't think I'm playing it tonight. But
Right.
you ask a songwriter, what's your favorite song, and it's the new one or the
The
next
new
one.
okay. Well,
So
we just played a new
you
song.
did. You just played one that came out yesterday. Just yesterday is when it dropped.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
Nash Talk doesn't fail.
You are on the cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
And now that was a duet with my buddy Les Kerr,
Okay.
and he's from the Gulf Coast.
Okay.
Matter of fact, PK is also from the Gulf Coast. So the guy that I wrote that song with, hi PK. Hey!
Stick your pretty face over here, PK.
So, so he came. There's PK. Look at her.
Hey. I love PK.
So she, hey Denise. Mwah. Hey
He's
Scott.
got fans, folks. He's got fans.
Anyways, yeah, he's from the Gulf Coast, and I am half Mexican. My mother's full-blooded Mexican, so
Right.
we had this idea of bringing the two cultures together, and that's the really the whole song is just the idea of New Orleans and Mexico coming together in a culinary match, and then from there it becomes romantic, and then it's just a goofy. You know what? I'm making this so much deeper than it is. I just thought cicada enchilada sounded funny, and so I came to my friend and I said, let's write this goofy song, and so we did.
Well, they're on their way. We're gonna have a swarm anytime soon.
That's why we dropped it right now.
Timing is
in the next week or so. The place will be crawling, and folks will be on YouTube looking up cicadas, and boom, that song will pop up.
I'm going to actually feature that now on Nash Talk.
Well, thank you
I'm
very
put
much.
it right up there. So
Woo!
cicada. How do you say that?
You say it's cicada, but Jeffrey Steele once told me, never let the truth mess up a good lie. That's not exactly how he said it, but that's how I'm reporting it here.
Right.
And so I said, cicada enchilada rhymes really good. I know that's not how you say it, but
Right.
you know what? We're songwriters. It's 3 chords and a lie. That's what we do.
Okay. I remember the last part a little differently, but that's okay. 3 chords and a lie. I'll take it. So, wow, that's great. So where have your, I'm trying to squeeze as much, as many questions as
Go
I
ahead,
can.
squeeze away.
So, okay. So where have you, performed over the years and, and how did you end up over here?
Sure. Well, I've been here for about 20 years as an independent artist, which happened about 2016 by accident.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that there was places all over the world that still loved traditional country.
Sure.
I didn't know that until I put an album out that started getting picked up by DJs all over the world. So
Nice.
I've been blessed to tour in Ireland, England, Switzerland, Norway, France, Spain, and I just got back from a tour in New Zealand. So really just all over the world, and then across the United States. Anywhere that wants to hear a hillbilly singer, I go out there and I do what I do.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, okay, so what would be your fan base right now? What would be the age range and the kind of
my core demographic is males ages 80 to 83. That's my sweet spot.
I'm getting my money's worth on this tonight, folks.
Yeah, sorry. Gosh, I don't know, man. It's people that still want to hear traditional country music,
Sure.
and in 2016, as I was going around in Europe, they were always asking, "What do you think of today's music?" Wanting me to trash it, and I said, "No, God bless them," because if the young, good-looking guys were singing traditional country, you wouldn't want my old chubby butt up here. You wouldn't be paying for me to come to New Zealand because you'd have all these young, good-looking artists. But of the last couple of years, there's this huge swell of indie artists, young men and women that are doing traditional country.
Mhm.
Just Zach Top just released an album that's crazy good. Jesse Daniel, Nikki Lane, Brennan Lee. There's just a ton of these young people coming out with just great music. So
Yeah.
it's cool to see, even though I know that means I'll probably become less and less in demand overseas. because there's this whole groundswell of young indie artists,
Right,
and
right.
it's invigorating, and they're making great music. So I'm not saying don't pick up all of my CDs, people, but I'm saying pick up theirs too.
Well, I think you can do both, and that's one of the things that we try to achieve is trying to get more notoriety, past and present, even future, to every
Mm-hmm.
artist out there
Mm-hmm.
as best we can, because we know that there's a big influx down here of people from Nashville trying to get a break,
Mm-hmm.
and the exposure that we get. We want people to even gravitate more to what you're trying to do.
Sure.
And I think that what you guys are doing tonight is really nice. I mean, they have a really nice setup. I mean, they have a buffet set up for us out there.
I can't wait to expose myself
we
to
can
all of
smell
these
it.
people.
I mean, it's
It's
like
going to be
barbecue
incredible.
and everything. You can see them bringing up the food right now.
I can smell it.
And Jay, who owns the place here, he's been working there relentlessly with these guys for hours, just getting the sound check ready. And I think that's amazing that you guys can embrace what you guys are doing, and just tell your stories. I guess there's a lot of humor, as you've already seen, and
Not from me. I'm pretty cantankerous up there. I just cuss people out
cantankerous.
and play my song, and only one song. I've really only written one song. I just play it over and over. I can play it fast or slow, so that's exciting.
So how many songs do you have out there roughly
I mean,
that you've recorded and
that I've
played?
recorded.
Sure, over the years.
I mean, I think I've done 8 or 9 albums
Wow.
of this traditional country.
Sure.
I've done 4 CDs that are definitely honky tonk. In June, I'm releasing a hillbilly trop rock CD.
Oh, wow.
That's actually is kind of a secret. I haven't really mentioned it, so don't tell anybody. No, I'm kidding. You can tell everybody. It's called "Only Dead Fish Go with the Flow," and that comes out in late June.
I love it.
And yeah, man. I mean, I'm always trying to put music out there, and but as far as how many songs I have out there, each album is I don't know, 10 to 12 songs, and so I guess yeah.
That's quite a bit. That's quite a catalog. Wow, that's amazing. Is there a place that I can type in here? Let me think.
ScottSouthworth.com, if that's what you're wondering.
Yeah, I'm gonna create it right now.
Yeah,
So Scott,
you're doing great. Excellent.
SOU. Well, I'm horrible.
No, look, you're using all 3 fingers, man.
Yeah, I know. .com, right?
That's it.
Did I get it right?
That's it.
Okay, so here I'm gonna put it on there. I'm gonna do. Wait, hold on. Check 1, 2. See?
Boom. Look at that.
Look at that.
Right
at the
next
bottom.
to right
Right at the bottom.
right next to Chris Anthony, the man.
You know what? I got to put your name on there somewhere. I'm gonna get rid of my name on there.
Nah, don't do that.
Yeah,
Of course,
you know.
now it looks
Well,
like
actually,
it looks like my name's Chris.
Yeah. You know what? Hold on.
Hi, I'm Chris Anthony. Welcome to Nash Talk.
There you go.
Today we have Chad and Russell Wicks, and they're going to be doing some interpretive dance for you.
Oh, wow, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna hide that. Wait, you know what? Wait, can I do that? Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. There you go. I feel better now.
Okay,
That's Scott.
That's
I'm
Chris.
Chris.
That's
There you go.
Chris
Yeah,
right
we got
there.
that. We got that
yeah,
situated.
and you
fixed
got the
that
black
problem.
memo. That's good.
Yeah, we got the black memo, right?
Yeah.
What do they say? Good guys were black, or back in black, or what's it?
I don't know. Once you go, no, never mind. I don't know what they say.
It's not a family show, kids. We were trying to figure out. He goes, I said, we can't, because he was reading the rules of Nash Talk, which I didn't put on there. But anyway, and I said, well, we couldn't get rid of the nude law. And he goes, and I said, yeah. And he had something of nude pics, right?
Nude pics, yeah.
Nude pics.
I'm always sending nude pics to people.
Yeah,
Will that show if I?
I'm sure. Yeah, we can make
Let's
it work.
see here.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
There you go.
Wait. Yep, closer. Nude
pics.
Martin would love that one.
There you go.
That's great. So while we have still a little bit of time left here,
Oh, good.
I want you to have time to eat. All right.
Look at me. I don't miss chances to eat, Chris.
Well, and this is one of those chances I definitely don't want you to skip.
No
right?
worries. No
Okay.
worries.
All right. So
What do you want to know? Ask me anything.
Well, let's see the zodiac sign, and then what else can I think of? Favorite car? No.
We're doing good so far.
So far, okay. I had to take a deep breath on that one. So what do you envision happening with the music moving forward? Now that you're here tonight, sharing your story, sharing your music. I mean,
Tonight, I anticipate that I'm going to be very whelming. Not overwhelming,
Yeah.
not underwhelming, just
Whelming.
right whelming. People are going to be whelmed. And at the end of the night, some of them may buy a CD,
Right.
and some of them may unfollow me on every platform. By the way,
Don't do that.
Scott Southworth Music on
Yeah,
Facebook.
right there.
Say howdy, Scott, on Instagram and on on Tinder. I'm at Chris Anthony at Chris Anthony
No,
on Tinder.
no,
So
Chris Anthony's not on Tinder, but that's okay.
swipe right, swipe
Yeah,
right.
that would break the internet, but not a good way. Well, okay, so you've been doing this for quite a long time. You've got 6 or 7 albums, 10, 12 selections so far.
Mhm.
But the Americana thing, like, did you see it for a while, like starting to maybe dissolve? But now you've seen this resurgence, or
I
has it
don't.
always been uphill, kind of, like moving in a good direction?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time in the Americana world. That's the first few albums I put out, I called Americana because I didn't know where else to put it, and it was also more of a hodgepodge. The
Right.
CDs were,
Sure.
but Americana is a real wide swath, right? I mean,
Right.
there's that can mean all sorts of things. But when I really honed into what I love and what I love to write, what I love to record, that's the traditional honky tonk country. So I moved from Americana, excuse me, to traditional country,
Mhm.
honky tonk, and that's where I've been for the last 8 years. And then most of my CDs have a beachy song in it. Sorry, I need 3 beers. And so I decided to put some together, and so I got this other thing. But I really focus on the traditional country. Now, when I lived closer to town and I was really trying to write for radio,
Right.
I was just writing whatever I thought people wanted to hear, and I wrote a lot of crap, trying to do that instead of me just writing what I wanted and what really resonates with me.
Sure.
And and that's when I found ears, and that's what I tell young people that ask me questions. I'm so sorry, and I just tell them, step one is find your ears,
Find your
figure
ears.
out where those ears are. It turns out mine are overseas, and there's a lot of indie stations in the U.S. that play my music as well, but it's really overseas where they're really enthusiastic about it.
What portion of like when you say overseas, like what a particular continent or anything like that?
A
Or
lot in Europe, and
Europe?
like I said, New Zealand.
Ooh, New Zealand's
I
nice.
just spent 15 days on tour in New Zealand,
Mhm.
but I've headlined festivals in New Zealand, Norway, Spain, France, Germany,
Wow.
and somewhere else.
So you're a world traveler.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Thanks to honing in on what I loved, and then realizing there's people that want to hear it. And if I love bluegrass, and I would have honed in on that, and I probably would have found the same kind of enthusiastic ears. But that's the key
Yeah,
to me.
I just interviewed someone the other day that came from Spokane. Spokane. I think
Spokane.
Spokane.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is
Yeah,
this really
see?
water?
Yeah.
He looks kind of shifty. I don't
It
know.
might be vodka.
I hope so.
Straight from the well. I saw him cranking it. Yeah, that was very cool.
Okay, Spokane.
Spokane, and his name is Billy. He was doing a lot of bluegrass,
Mm-hmm.
and I was to be quite honest, I was like I wasn't versed in that as much as country, and I became an instant fan the way he played. So I'm really looking forward to tonight, by the way. And second, I think that I know that you just mentioned something that I was going to lead into, like young people ask you. So you're obviously inspiring people to, go into that. Like, who inspired you originally? If I can ask that.
Yeah, you can ask anything you want to, Chris.
Sure.
Who inspired me? I think originally I was inspired by. I didn't realize I was inspired by them because it's a long weird story. But I was writing country. I was in rock bands. I was in blues bands. I was singing reggae. But everything I wrote was country.
Right.
And it wasn't till years later that I started having some regressed memories as a really young kid. My father just played Willie and Roger Miller and Waylon Jennings and Johnny Cash, and so that was a lot of my inspiration. When I look back at my writing, it's like, oh, that's it. And then also, actually, oddly enough, Jimmy Buffett, who started out here in Nashville as a songwriter, as you know, because he loved all those internal rhymes, and I find that I'm really drawn to that too. So, um, and then gosh, Albert King and Pinetop Perkins. I love blues, and so I've been inspired by all sorts of people. And my mom sang in musical theater, so I got to watch her sing and perform. So I've been inspired by everybody. Or I'm now inspired by Chris Anthony, and I'm inspired by everybody.
Well, I got a couple of people here. You guys got a question or anything like that? Anybody? So,
Anyone?
Anyone?
Bueller?
I just wanted to make sure to include them just in case. It wasn't like they were chomping at the bit. I just wanted to make sure. Well,
Russell wants to know if I've heard his song, and I'm sure I have. I want to hear it again. Okay. All
there
right.
you go. Wow. See, that's a bonus right there. See, you're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the person.
That's the good. There's a plus and minus to the songwriters. There's some that just don't want to engage, and then there's some that do, and they understand. They're the artists that want the up and coming artists, as well as the fan base, of course. And I think that's really nice. That's really cool that you're able to do that as well.
Well, I think as a songwriter, for me, I'm far more interested in other people's stories than I am in navel gazing and writing about me, because I'm out there playing when I play, but when I'm home, I've been married for 32 years. I'm not brokenhearted in a bar every night. I'm asleep on the couch at 8:30. After watching Wheel of Fortune. So, if I wanted to just write songs about myself, they'd be.
By the way.
Thank you very much. Okay. I get mad when they buy a vowel too soon. It's like, guys, don't waste. What are you doing? So, but no, I'm more about I want to hear other people's stories, and then a lot of the stuff that I've written over the years, it isn't from personal experience. It's from being on stage in bands, watching all of the little soap operas that go on in honky tonks and bars, right?
Absolutely.
And then putting myself in that situation.
Right.
But so no, I'm far more interested in other people's stories than I am my own. So tell me more about you, Chris.
Well, I love Americana guys that I love doing, especially from Oregon.
Oregon. Oh, yes, me.
I don't forget nothing. Anyway, no, I guess if you were to leave something 50 years from now, somebody wanted to know about you, what would the message be? If aliens and you found a time capsule or somebody on Earth.
Hopefully they'd find it in the music. I mean, I there's a bunch of albums out there. I've made a bunch of music videos. So, and I would let them figure out what they want to know about me from that. But hopefully it's, what, he writes a pretty good song and can sing them not so bad. And,
Sure.
In general, he doesn't suck. That's what I'd like people to think about me 50 years from now.
That sounds like a country song.
My hope is I don't want to hear the country song that he doesn't suck. But, seriously, though, the idea that my grandkids and great grandkids can hear this music and think, wow, okay,
Sure.
that old man in the corner drooling did that once. And that'll be nice. That's what I'd like people to think.
Oh man, drooling! I like that one. You just got a whole bunch of titles popping out of your head, don't you?
You don't want to be in my head. Let me tell you.
Oh well, I'm trying as best I can. Actually, I don't know if I'm just I'm watching all these people like rolling. I can smell the food. I can, but has he even started yet?
I don't know. I think they're getting there. They're getting there.
We can say this live. We can,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, what would be your defining moment as far as being in the music industry, as long as you have that?
I think
or moments.
What I've always had in front of my desk is a piece of paper that has the letters IAS. I'm a songwriter. when I came to town, all I wanted was to be a songwriter. I just wanted other people to record my songs, and that's happened. I've had a whole bunch of indie cuts, and I'm thrilled with that. Anytime somebody wants to record one of my songs, I'm thrilled. So the fact that I'm a songwriter, and hopefully that I've helped some other people along the way, and the fact that you know with being able to go and play around the world, it isn't just that I've been able to play, but I've been able to take my family. I've taken my son places and my daughter and my wife, and to me, that's been the beauty of this, is to have those experiences and travel around the world because of my music. So
Wow.
yeah,
That's great.
that's
pretty
it,
fun,
man. I mean,
actually.
it's been a hell of a run. I'm having a great time, and I still got a few more years in me before I'm in the corner drooling. So I'll just keep on plugging away.
You're a lucky fellow.
I am a lucky fellow, absolutely.
So it's not a bad word here in Nashville, is it?
No, well, I don't know. I live an hour away from Nashville. I stay away from this town. These people are crazy here, man.
Yeah, I've met a few actually.
Yeah. And I live in the sticks, so
Yeah.
you come down here, we'll sit around the fire pit, and
I love fire
we'll
pits.
make shit up. It'll be fun.
I'm actually starting to play acoustic myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah,
You can give me some lessons.
I'll just share the YouTube videos I have. So, well, I mean, we could do this all night if we wanted.
Okay.
So
All right.
I wish you had brought your guitar and you could have played, but we'll save that for the audience.
Right.
So, well, I don't really know what else I can ask you because, but I mean,
What should I ask you? How long have you been in town?
I've been in town almost a year now.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you enjoying it?
I love it. It's great. Yeah, it has its moments.
What has surprised you about living here? What surprised you about Music City from your preconceived ideas?
This is a first, actually. I think Nashville, the music industry, the music city, music row, whatever. I think it's broken up into like 3 different categories, maybe 4, definitely 2. There's the songwriters that want to be discovered and will do the writer rounds, the open mic nights. Then there's those that will go downtown and play Broadway, and then there's those that just want to go off and do the indie, but also do the studio work up in Berry Hill or Music Row, wherever.
Right.
Whoever has a studio.
Right.
And then sometimes they cross. Somebody will do this, somebody will do that. I think everybody, though, deep down wants to be part of or discovered for their own identity with music. They bring something new, their voice, their guitar playing, the title and lyrics to the song. They want to be the next big thing.
Right.
And remember, right? So that's what I think the music industry down here has taught me. And, meeting people like yourself has been just absolute. I mean, I've had more positive experiences and created friendships from those things that I think are really, a songwriter has a lot of heart. They wear their emotion on their sleeve, whether they like it or not. You have to, except there's music attached to it.
Right.
There's a harmony and melody to it.
Right.
Hopefully, sometimes a drum beat, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's what I really find encompassing with song and what you do, because you just are like tonight. That's you're telling your story, you're sharing your songs, and people are here, ready to see you do that.
Good.
And I'm glad I got to catch you before you did all that.
Me too, because once you see me, you would not have wanted to interview me. You'll say, "Man, I would never want that person on my YouTube channel again."
I don't feel that way one bit.
Okay, good.
I think I've actually enjoyed every part of it. You're one of those people, like I felt like I've met many, many times before.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you're just very comfortable. If I was to have met you on a plane and we were flying to Hawaii, I wouldn't mind 5 hours, sitting there talking to you or whatever, except when we're watching a movie.
I want to call my wife and have you tell her that.
All right. Go ahead, put her on. What's her name?
Her name is Jennifer. Mrs. Southworth is her name. She goes by Mrs. Southworth. Yeah, she's not on any socials. She
Oh,
is.
really?
Oh, no.
So she's not seeing this, okay?
No.
Okay,
no, she's not. She doesn't watch anything I'm involved in.
Wow.
No.
So that's.
Let me tell you a story. You want to hear a story?
Well, I'm just thinking that's the ultimate secret of why you're still.
Why we're still married, because
Right,
she is so uninterested. We're in France, and I'm headlining a festival.
France, Tennessee, or
No,
the
no,
country?
France, Paris. We're in where were we? Cambrai,
Paris,
France.
Tennessee, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Paris. We were in Cambrai, France. I'm headlining this festival. She got to come with me because of this festival. They paid for her to come, and so she's working the merch table. I'm up there playing.
Merch is fancy for merchandise, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
She's selling CDs and T-shirts, and there's a line of people at the merch table. And this one guy says, "That song that he's playing right now, that song, which CD is that on?" And my wife says, and I quote, "I don't know. I don't listen to this shit." And so she gets a free trip to France, and she doesn't know any of my dadgum songs. So that's what makes a happy marriage, is a woman that is 100% unimpressed with what you do. So remember that, kids.
Dadgum songs. I'm stuck on that one. Dadgum songs. We're not really censored here, but that's fine. I got it. Wow. So Jennifer, wow, that's
Jennifer, Mrs. Southworth.
So have you written a
Mrs.
song
Southworth.
about her at all?
Oh, maybe once or twice. Yeah.
Am I allowed to even ask?
No, you can ask. I've never really written a song about her, but like one time we were having a fight, and she said, maybe there's just nothing left to fight for anymore. And the songwriter mind kicked in, and I'm thinking, oh crap, that's a great line. That's a great idea for a song. Oh shoot, I'm in a fight right now. Where am I? What should I say right now? And I never played her the song. I went and wrote that song that night. And 6 months later, I played it, and she goes, "Oh, I like that one. Where'd you get that idea from?" And I said, So I told her, and then she didn't like the song anymore. But yeah, so yeah, I write songs. She inspires a few, but like I said, I'm much more interested in other people than writing about me or her or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to ask.
That's okay.
I had to ask.
That's all right. I'll answer
Yeah.
any question you have.
What's your shoe size?
11 and a half.
Oh, we could share shoes.
I'd rather not.
I wear socks.
Hey, good for you. Wow, this is devolving rapidly.
Yeah. I was gonna say, where's the beer? He needs 3 beers. They're selling bucket beers here. Did you know?
I saw that. I need a bucket.
picture. Hold on, I gotta show you something real quick. Since we're here, just to know how cool this place is. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see this? Hey, look at that.
Nice cold beer.
$3 for domestic, $4 for import. You are
Look at that.
never good. Look at that.
That's a good
A
price.
bucket for what? $15 or $20 for 6
Unbelievable.
beers. You can't get that
It's a
anywhere.
bargain at twice the
Anywhere.
price.
Nowhere. No.
There's David Scott. I'm going to be playing with him. In a
Hey,
little bit.
David,
I'm so
how you doing?
excited.
When are you going up?
We're all going on together.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get you soon.
Just don't ask his shoe size. Don't ask me how I know. All right.
You want to go on later? You go on as soon as he's done if you want.
We still need to go. Have you eaten yet? I will. We'll just aim to your left and not your right, and we'll be fine.
This is live. This is how we do it.
This
how we
is
do it here in
live.
Tennessee.
Sorry, this has been
No, they
so
don't care.
interesting.
They're good. They're good. You're part of it. They're like a family. It's like a campfire.
It is.
It is like a campfire.
It is. Where's a match? Let's burn this table.
Yeah. With some what are they? Charcoal lighter.
Yeah.
No, you want to come and sit with us?
Come sit. I'm going to go get some food.
Yeah, go eat.
All right. Hey,
listen. Thank you very
everybody.
much.
Thank you, Chris.
Scott,
I appreciate you, Chad.
Southworth.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
And John, Mike, thank you for the water. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. Check out Dave Scott coming up.
Dave Scott. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody. That's Scott Southworth. You've got a bunch of information right there below.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. Here comes our next guest.
Oh, hi there.
And all right. Well, hello.
How are you, man?
It's our first time meeting.
It is, but
This
that's
is great.
all right.
Welcome to Nash Talk.
Thank you. It always feels like old times whenever you get a chance to sit and talk music with people,
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
hey, that's good.
So introduce the audience to yourself. You're
Well, my name's Dave Scott.
Dave Scott,
I hail from east of Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. I
a
love it.
ways.
You're right below Michigan.
We are below Michigan, quite a ways below Michigan.
I'm from
where I am.
Detroit.
Are you?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
originally, yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm just east of Indianapolis, about 20 miles.
I love it.
Out
I
in the
love
country.
it.
Well, it's not bad. It's not bad. And it's interesting. I guess the curious part about tonight is that I think you already talked to Dan
Sure.
Maudlin, right?
Yep.
Any rate, Dan and I, Dan used to be from Indianapolis or Indiana as well.
Mm-hmm.
He and I started playing music together in 1967
Sure.
in a band together, and
1967.
yeah, 67, and played in some bands together. In fact, we played in a band back there in 67 and 68 with Jay Wilfong, who owns and runs Starstruck Farm here now.
Wow.
So you talk about a small world. Man.
Small world.
It was. It really was. And so this is just a great place, and we're happy to be down here. It's great to get to see and play with Dan again, and to see Jay again after that period of time.
Absolutely.
And you can't beat this neck of the woods. There's a great interest in this kind of corridor down here, from all the way kind of from Bowling Green down 65 to Nashville and south a little ways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's its own little world.
It is, and
it's still connected in Nashville.
You bet. You
right,
bet.
Right.
There's an appetite for original music. There's an appetite to listen to singers and songwriters and players that I don't know what it's like in Detroit, but that's absent in Indianapolis. There's just no, it's bar bands and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And so this is really a treat to come down to play in Nashville or play here for Jay and the people here at Starstruck. And really just, that your audiences appreciate it. They're glad to be here.
Well, I can't wait to see you play, because we're also, very excited to see you play, talk about your stories and things like that.
Thank
Here
you.
goes PK. She keeps popping in there. And
how's it going? Good?
yeah.
Hi there.
Good.
Hi.
I'm excited to hear you play tonight.
Well, we're excited to be playing.
Thank you for coming.
Well, you're very welcome. It's our pleasure. We're looking forward to it.
And I mean, it's really exciting to see people, coming to see you guys play.
Sure.
So is Americana your primary?
Yeah, I mean, yes. And I say yes because something it seems like that I've noticed is Americana kind of has become a catch-all for stuff that nobody knows where else to put it.
Right.
How
would you describe it?
Well, it's kind of folk. It's kind of country. It's kind of, some of it's kind of country rockish, and some of it's
Seeing rock and roll being applied to it.
Huh?
I've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah. I guess you look at the influences, maybe as a way, when we started playing way back when, we were playing the Byrds and Buffalo Springfield and those kind of groups, and then into Poco when we cover and stuff,
Right.
and that whole kind of thing, as well as some other singer-songwriters that were popular at the time. And I think those things kind of have a way of shaping you without even realizing, So yeah, we enjoy the storytelling part of it.
Sure.
That's a big part, I think, of the stuff Dan and I write. And we try not to be too topical,
Right.
There's no point in that. But a good story is a good story. And when you can set them to music, I always enjoyed the storytelling aspects of folk music, especially.
Right.
And so, I don't know. That's just kind of where we ended up. We did our first album way back when.
What was it called?
It was called "The Train Don't Stop Here Anymore."
The train don't stop here anymore.
And it's curiously, it's let's put it this way: it sold well under 1 million, or well under 1 million.
Yeah.
And
That's good stuff.
yeah, it was well under 1 million. But since then, believe it or not, it's become a collector's item. A lot of it in Europe and other places, and the album was bootlegged in Italy, and then it was licensed out of South Korea, and then some tunes have been picked up from that old album by labels in New York and labels in Spain. It's really been a a wild kind of a trip,
Right.
you know. But when that album first came out, we were, you're hawking at radio stations and stuff like that, and people were, well, we were too country for the rock stations, and we were too rock for the country stations, and so you kind of fell through the crack. And I think ultimately that's kind of what became Americana.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's that stuff that, which is, I'm not really sure. It's kind of a little of this and kind of a little of that. And first thing you know, they give you a category or
What would be your signature songs that you think that the audience knows or relates to, or brought you a lot of notoriety, so to speak?
well, the two songs that from that original album, that first album that were picked up by the labels elsewhere, is one called Round and Round,
Mm-hmm.
and one called Loser Lover. Those are the songs that were picked up off that album. But people know there one song on the original album is called Jack McCall, and it's written about from the perspective of the fella who backshot Wild Bill Hickok.
Oh
His
yeah,
name
yeah,
was
yeah.
Jack McCall,
Yeah.
and
We saw that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm talking to my buddy Chad over
and
here.
no problem.
We saw a show called Deadwood. And
I'm so big fan of Deadwood. Great show.
yeah, we saw that. Yeah, it was
And
great.
so it's written from the perspective
Oh.
of McCall having been arrested, and now he's waiting to hang
Right.
and he just tells the story of how that came about.
I want to hear that song. Are you doing that tonight?
Probably not tonight, but it's on the internet. It's all
I
it's
can't
on
wait. Yeah, I'm going to find it.
YouTube and various other
Perfect.
places. It's called Jack McCall.
Jack McCall.
And so that's probably one of the more popular ones from that old album.
Mhm.
And then the CD, the album that Dan and I did just a few years ago.
Mhm.
It's shifted our style just a little bit in those years, you
Right.
know. But I think you can still kind of tell it's us, as far as that's
Sure.
concerned.
Yeah.
And there's a real good song on there that Dan wrote called Gene in the River, and tells we refer to it as our homicide song, and we'll leave
Homicide.
we'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah.
But we'll be doing that one tonight.
Okay. The Homicide song.
The homicide
That's
song.
my favorite.
Well, I
I'm
guess.
from Detroit. That would be like a go along with a draft.
Well, there's a saying in folk music that if you ever find yourself in a folk song, don't go near the river. Nothing ever happens good there, So,
The Cumberland's only 600 miles each way.
and but this is a story that ends in a justifiable homicide. Let's put it that way. And
So it was a love. It was a love story going bad. Right?
well, not exactly.
Oh, okay.
Not exactly. Yeah, you have to listen to it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And but there is a justifiable homicide occurs.
Justifiable
in the
homicide.
process.
Yeah, those are good. I like those.
So, and there's a song we're going to do tonight about a boat called the Sultana. Sultana. Most folks don't realize, but America's worst maritime tragedy did not occur in the longship or colonial era. It did not occur in World War I, World War II. It happened at the end of the Civil War. And a boat named the Sultana, bringing Union prisoners home from prison camps in the South,
Sure.
sunk with the loss of 1,800 lives. And that's the worst single maritime disaster in our history. And so there's a song we're going to do tonight called Sultana.
Sultana.
And that's about that. So we're into this.
I'm learning things
We're-
here. Yeah, this is great. I get to learn and talk.
Well,
at the same
hey,
time.
it's we keep learning. Everybody learns,
100%.
And so I had a good DJ friend of mine who actually kind of co-produced the first album that Dan and I did. He used to say, "Listen, everybody steals from everybody." He said the key is to steal the good stuff,
Yeah.
And so your influences all come about, and you start, and it's not an intentional copying of it,
Sure. Right.
but you just subliminally start to take on the color of those kind of things and the things that appeal to you. But Sultana's on there. That's a decent song. Please. Driven, which I think Dan's going to start with tonight, is a great tune just about the the woes and heartache and sorrow and the work that goes into writing songs, you know. And so that'll be a good one. He's got one about a young lady waiting on a transplant and how tough that is.
That's a good story right there.
Sure,
Absolutely.
those are great stories.
We're still promoting him. He was just checking to make sure that he's still scrolling on the bottom there. Do you have a website you want to promote or anything?
Well, we're just on Facebook as Maudlin and Scott,
Okay.
and
Maudlin and Scott. Modlin.
Modlin.
Okay.
And we just kind of try to keep people updated on things that are going on. If we're going to be playing somewhere and that kind of stuff.
Where's the biggest place you've played?
Oh man,
Or memorable, something really.
Probably the I would probably say the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. We played down.
I love the Bluebird.
Yeah, we played down to Bluebird several times together, and there's just there's a mystique and a reputation and a history to that place
100%.
that's really hard to top anywhere.
Yeah,
You know?
You're right.
And so every gig you play, you come away with memories from it,
Sure. Right.
But some you just really going in, that listen, this is special.
Yeah, there's some magic to
This
it.
is really special to me.
Right.
It's no different. I mean, we don't see it any differently for any crowd we play with. But it's just the knowledge, I think, that you're going to a world famous club where so many famous people perform and has such a reputation. That's I wouldn't say that's the biggest place we ever played, but it's probably the one that sticks out the most in my mind.
You know what? A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I've even had people. A young man I just interviewed. I mean, he was playing on Monday night, which is kind of like an open mic night, but you got to get on. And he felt the same thing. He felt like he played the Ryman. I mean, it was kind of something like that.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
So that's great.
And there are so many wonderful songwriters, wonderful musicians who, for one reason or another, never get the break, never even get a chance to go play at the Bluebird, even though they're deserving of being there.
Sure.
And so you have to sort of count your blessings, when you do get a chance to do that,
Right.
because a lot of people never get that opportunity.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like tonight, what are you going to treat the audience with on that? Just a little, like a quick.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the thing that they'll notice tonight that's different than most of the rounds that they have here is that Dan and I will be both playing and singing harmonies and things on some of the tunes that we did recorded together. So there'll be, Scott will do songs, and then I'll have some that I do by myself, and Dan has some that he does by himself. But there are some of those tunes that Dan and I will both be playing on and providing the harmonies and stuff, and that's a little unusual for them. So I'm hoping that they enjoy that. I'm hoping that's a little bit of a treat.
That's great. If you were to, and I know it's a typical question, but you know what? We're going to be putting this out on YouTube for life and Facebook,
Sure.
Of course, you can see it. And so, weeks from now, years from now, what would you want people to remember about you? Family, friends, the world.
I think I would be probably most rewarded if they said or remembered and said, listen, those guys were pretty good. They told some good stories. I remember some of those songs. And I think they were, and that they were sincere about what they were doing. We're not just trying to write pickup truck and beer songs, to make a hit song on the radio.
Sure.
We take a lot of pride in what we write. All those songs mean something, and if folks can pick that up, I'd be as happy as anything. And that's better in my book than being famous. I'd rather have people say, I respected those guys as musicians, as storytellers, as whatever, than to say, well, yeah, they sold X 100,000 million records.
That's a true. How do I put it into words? People always tell me, I don't care if I make a lot of money doing it, and I don't care if I become famous as long as I get my music out there in front of an audience. And then, I don't know if they really mean that, but you've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
And, you didn't say, the Bridgestone Arena or,
Yeah.
or you said
Yeah.
Bluebird.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference in capacity, right?
There are.
And,
There is.
for you to say that and then tell me that, I mean, there's something that leaves kind of a message to other artists.
Sure.
Especially the young kids out there.
Absolutely.
It's like, get your message out there. Make your songs meaningful. Have a story behind it. You weren't necessarily, I mean, of course, everybody wants the brass ring.
Everybody, yeah.
But, for you to at least have the opportunity, people are here tonight to see you guys.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's...
And, Dan and I, we went through a period back in our early lives playing in bands and stuff and playing in bars and doing cover songs and trying to fight to be heard over broken bottles and football games on the, and
Sure.
But it wasn't too long after that we finally, I think, reached the conclusion that, if you're playing music, whether you're writing or playing or whatever, if you're doing it for fame and riches, you're probably going to be disappointed.
Right.
You've got to play and love it because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's inside you.
And if it satisfies you, that's the reason to play and that's the reason to stick to it.
That's amazingly said.
Well,
I
thank you.
love that. I love that a
I
lot.
appreciate that, man.
You married or anything?
I am.
How long you been married?
Well, my current wife and I will be married 26 years in October.
You said current wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your first wife?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, 26 years. Okay.
Well,
that's a nice accomplishment. Congratulations.
Well, thank
Good
you.
for you. What's her name?
It's Beth.
Yeah, because I know
And
this guy was Jennifer.
she is she was an actress for a long time doing musical theater and a lot of
Nice.
stuff like that, and owned a theater company for a while producing shows and stuff. So we kind of both have our fingers in the arts and have had for a long time.
Wow, nice. So you guys gel together. No problems.
Absolutely. Well, when we met, we were the only people of the opposite sex that each of us knew who understood lighting and stage design.
Right.
So we kind of hit it.
Yeah.
We kind of hit it off in that regard. We had stuff that we could talk about in common, sound design and that kind of stuff. So
He's getting fancy over there every time we see him.
I know. I think he's gearing up now.
I saw rhinestones and a bandana.
Yep.
I don't know, the lights in my eye. It's just sparkles. I don't know.
Oh, it's going to be a great show. Scott's
I can't
a great
wait.
performer.
I can't wait. Are you sure you want to go get something to eat?
It's a pleasure. Well, I may
I'm
hop
gonna go
over
eat.
there and grab something.
We got grits.
No,
I don't know what we got.
you know,
We got no chat.
nothing wrong with that.
Pork,
Yeah.
and buckets of beer. No, I'm serious. I
Well,
took
no,
a
I
picture.
know. I hear you. Like I say, I'll be munching on furniture by the time it's over. But if I eat too much, I tend to generally sing the high harmony parts with Dan.
Oh, really?
And so,
You falsetto?
no,
Tenor?
it's natural voice, natural tenor.
That's
But
okay.
if I eat too much,
Well, then you're down here like
the breath is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I generally try to not eat. I live on coffee.
Yeah.
You know?
I love those things, right?
And so
It's right next to the microphone. I was waiting for him to grab it and try to drink it.
No,
They're all the same size.
no.
Yeah, no, it's actually been a pleasure and an honor to meet you, to talk to you.
Thank you.
If you ever want to, talk again, feel free to reach out to me. I'm gonna be here tonight.
Same here, man.
Yeah, so we may do a part 2 later. I don't
All
know.
right. Well, it's been a pleasure. And thank you for
Absolutely.
asking me.
You're such a classy gentleman. You got that really distinguished. I'm trying to think. What's that actor, Sam Elliott or whatever?
Yeah. Well,
You call that?
I have a big mustache, I guess.
Yeah.
We can say
You could have
that.
been in Deadwood.
Huh?
You could have been in Deadwood.
Well, I might have. In not to get off subject here, but
Go ahead, feel free.
I'm involved. Have been involved for about the last 20 years in a group that does Old West living history.
Sure.
So, part of this has to do with the persona that you do when you're doing reenactments of
Gotcha.
various things.
Yeah.
But then I kind of got so I liked it, so I just kept it.
You like the handlebar mustache?
Yeah.
Does she like it?
Yeah.
Does she?
Yeah.
Right. I'll have to ask her later.
Well, I'll be honest with you, she's never seen me without it. And I saw,
Wow.
So I guarantee you, she's likes better than what she would see if it were gone. You know what I mean?
That's the secret to success. Don't break it. Don't break it.
If it works, don't fix it.
Yeah,
man.
don't fix it.
That's
Bro.
absolutely
That's how
the
we
case.
say it too. Yeah.
Absolutely the case.
Wow.
Why don't you get in there and get yourself something to eat?
I will too. Once you get a refill on that coffee.
I'm still pretty good. I've just been sipping lately.
You've been sipping?
Yeah.
I like that.
But
He
it's,
rations his coffee. Folks.
well, I want to be able to sleep at some point.
Yeah. What's your favorite coffee?
Well,
That's just a parting question.
No, I have a good buddy who drinks his coffee black,
Right.
and straight and everything. I mean, just you could stand a spoon up in the coffee he makes, And he says I make soup. He doesn't call mine coffee. He calls it soup because I want sugar and cream or sweetener at least, and cream, and maybe even a little splash of caramel flavoring in my coffee. So he considers that soup. He doesn't think that's real coffee.
That sounds like one of those what do you call those blizzards from Dairy Queen? Yeah, thank you.
We're like,
Oh, okay.
you gotta go.
All right, brother.
All
Thank
right,
you very
appreciate
much.
it, man. Thank
All
you.
right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we might come back on again later.
All right, sounds
Thank you.
good.
Good luck. Break a leg. All right, well, everybody. So that's what do you think, Michael? Why don't you come over? I'm still alive. Come sit with me for a second. Where'd Darren go? Hey, why don't you go get something to eat? Grab some.
Darren's
Okay,
trying
well-
to get it. Won't show up on his phone, but it shows up on mine.
Okay. Oh, that big noise you heard, or was that you? Or
Me
okay.
falling down.
Okay, well, hey guys. Hey Bert, how you doing from the NSAI? Good for you. Nice to see you. We're live here in Lebanon, Tennessee. We're just east of Nashville. Yep, east of Nashville. And me and Michael, Mikell, he's always on. You're always promoting Element One.
Element 117
Yeah,
out of
and
Nashville.
Martin Motnick's on there.
Martin Motnick, Anthony Fox, Michael Green, and Wayne Anderson, and Jason Lamberson.
Wow. So if you Google their names, you're going to see that they play with. In fact, Martin's getting ready to go play bass again. World tour. He's practicing right now.
Yeah,
Actually, not too far from here, Mount Juliet.
And their record releases, I believe, today or yesterday.
Today or yesterday from the band Accept. If you know the song "Balls to the Wall," they've been around since the '70s. Martin's not the original bass player, but he's been with them since 2018, 19.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's even had his own albums out with Joe Satriani and Jennifer Batten. The list goes on.
Yeah. And I got a couple of friends in that band. It's like Phil South and Christopher Williams, the drummer.
Wow.
But Phil's on tour now with I think it's Rodney Atkins. So he's
Sure.
got another kind of famous guy filling in for him. I forget his name right off the top. And then as soon as he gets done with that, he'll go on like the European tour with Accept. And
Go eat. Okay, I'm just talking to my guys out there. So
we're just finishing up our song today. Our next song will be released on the 1st of May from Element 117, and they're in the studio right now tonight working on it.
this is what Nash Talk's all about, everybody. This is what we're trying to build. We're trying to build the brand. We're trying to build, just so everybody from all different types of music. Like you heard today,
Well, like
Americana.
my band's a heavy metal band.
Heavy metal band, yeah. Because people ask me, like, is it country? Is it bluegrass? Is it this? Is that? I go, it's anything that's actually really music. But Nashville seems to be the nexus where everybody gets together. I mean, they're even putting, pop and top 40 hip hop and all that kind of stuff. But right now we've been kind of isolated because most of the people that we're talking to are songwriters, and most of the songwriters are generally country western, Americana, and of course rock and roll.
Well, like what I was mentioning, my friend Phil South, he's plays in Accept, but he's on. Accept's a heavy metal band. Right?
Yeah, right.
But now he's on tour with a country western band. And before that, him and Christopher, they were part of Gene Simmons' Kiss Act. They would go on tour with Gene Simmons and play his, that was his band. And Ace Frehley also.
That's a lot of that going on, and that's been going on for a long time. You'll see people that play in heavy metal bands, and then they're playing with Taylor Swift or somebody.
Oh yeah, and vice versa. I mean, it's
Musicians are musicians, folks. They're songwriters, they're singers, they're hired guns.
right.
They're all the above. And I just want everybody. We're almost going to go in there. PK's to give me the thing. Yeah, we can't. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Take these guys with you. Take these guys with you.
And the biggest thing about it is there's everybody from everywhere sort of draws to this town. Blues people.
Oh yeah, it's a
rock and
magnet.
roll,
It's a music magnet.
bluegrass. There's big bluegrass. It's a variety, and they all interchange and they all work together and collaborate on different things.
Sure. That's great. By the way, this is your first appearance on Nashville.
Yeah.
So far, so good. You sound great. You look great.
Good
Good for you, man. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah. Did you eat already?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go in there and eat
Okay.
in a minute.
Well,
And
it's
we're
a
gonna watch
pleasure
the
being
show.
here, and I hope everybody tunes
Where'd
in.
Darren go?
He's right outside.
Oh,
I'll go grab him.
yeah, go grab him.
All right.
All right. So anyway, yeah, tell him to hurry. If he's not here in 1 minute, I'm shutting it down. So anyway, that's what we're doing live here in the heart of Music City. We're actually on the outskirts, but you know what? What you'll learn about Nashville, just in case you're wondering, yeah, the Nashville Songwriting Association, Broadway, downtown, about 30 miles or give or take. How far is downtown from here, Russell? 35 miles? Okay. But you're going to see a lot of towns. In fact, we're up in Springfield, which is about 20 miles north of downtown. And even further past that, they had famous, well-known songwriters that wrote for Jason Aldean. And what were the other artists, Chad?
Chris Young,
Randy Houser, Chris Young. Just wrote all these monster hits, hit after hit after hit. And they're looking for places 10, 20, 30 miles outside of the city limits of Nashville. And, they're telling their stories. And these are people that actually had hits and, with big artists that were like all the way to the top. She's Country was Jason Aldean. We saw the guy that wrote for that and a few other guys a couple weeks ago. So, right like tonight, they're telling their stories and they're playing the music to a nice audience. This place is great, by the way. If you ever get a chance, look it up. If you're ever in the Tennessee area, they're trying to make this place just another place for original artists, original everybody. Mark Skoda, Jay, the owner, you'll see his name on the credits. Darren Richards, we finally met. We met actually doing a show in Louisville. You want to grab a chair real quick? Come on in. Okay, we're going to try to squeeze everybody in real quick. Now, he's just in from Las Vegas. Now, we've never physically met until just now. Yeah, but we met months ago, like late November, when I was leaving Nashville to go back to Detroit, and I stopped in Louisville.
Yeah.
And then we talked that night, Michael and all that. So tell the audience real quick exactly a little bit, just real quickly what you're about. Give it a little bit of your past. Oh, these two.
Well, basically what I've been doing, I've been started music when I was really young, doing different things for as far as I was doing policeman's balls, fireman's balls, high school dances, all kind of like a mobile music type of a thing.
Uh-huh.
Then I went from there to radio.
Uh-huh.
Went from radio and then started doing music production.
Sure.
So then I started producing shows.
Where
different shows. Started in Florida. Started doing them down there. I took a little boat and motor show and went and got a couple of really good old Southern rock bands, and we turned it into one hell of a party that night.
Right.
A lot of people showed up, bought some airwaves down there with it. And it was a fun time. So that's kind of what strung me back into that. And then from there, I wound up getting my degree in sound engineering and whatnot here in Nashville. And that's how I met this character behind us.
The iPhone Bandit.
The iPhone Bandit, that's right. So, and then just been doing it ever since. So went back to Las Vegas and did it back there for a little bit while back there, and then back to Nashville. So back home.
So in Vegas, what have you, just give us a real quick synopsis of that, what you've been doing and who you've been doing it with.
We've been working with a variety of different metal bands. One of the big things right now is the symphonic metal, where we, you get the opera, the cello, everything backed in with the heavy metal grind on it, which is it's a good sound. Starting to take place here in America. So you're seeing a lot of the European transforming back over to here because there's a big market for it here.
Yeah.
You can only play some of the old songs so many times on the radio without everybody's like, oh, not this song again.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, because we're trying to get together and try to see what we can come together and help artists, past, present. I don't care if they've been in a rock band, 10 rock bands that made it to number one 30, 40 years ago. It's a brand new artist, original, whatever. And we're not just, there's no limit really.
No, there is no limit, and that's the thing.
We're trying to remove the governors, the limiters of what Nashville and the music industry has.
All the big music.
Yeah, because I think there's a really tiny, finite number of people that can actually make it
Absolutely.
to a chart, to radio, to making money.
Yep.
And I think that we're just creating a big window here for people to come. And I think
Humongous.
we're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it bigger. It can't get smaller.
No,
And for me, it's never went backwards. And I thought, God, what if I don't know the artist or that music or that song or this and that? I never met these guys before in my life, and they've been
Right.
great. And we just have it's a nice synergy that musicians and artists, songwriters, producers have. And if you are a dreamer and things like that, it can be very overwhelming. It can be it can be very intimidating. It can be very discouraging. And it also can be exciting, but you got to know the parameters. You got to know the realities that you're going to walk into.
absolutely.
And there's a lot of sharks, and there's a lot of people that pretend not to be. And like even tonight, what do you think? I mean, they've never been here. I invited them to Starstruck. It's
Yeah.
like I said, it's not necessarily, I shouldn't say wheelhouse, but normally they're more close to the established places because this is a newer place.
It is, and I posted pictures, still pictures, up on the
What'd you think?
website.
What do you think so far?
I think it's awesome. I mean, it really is. It's a very intimate venue. You know?
And they're making it bigger. They're putting a pond over there. They're putting more money for RVs. They keep putting money into the place. They want to build it. They want people to come here like its own.
What's an attraction in itself?
It's an attraction.
It is an
45
attraction.
acres. You can park
Oh.
here all night long. You know what I mean? There's
Absolutely.
RVs. There's Airbnbs here. There's all these things they're really cool. I could have had one tonight.
That would have been.
I mean, did you see the beer prices?
No,
$4 and $5 for import.
sure beats 15 in Vegas
Or downtown Nashville.
or downtown Broadway. Yeah,
Yeah.
$6 for artists.
Isn't that crazy?
it's
Yeah. And they got Iron Gate, Mark Skoda, Jay, the owner. He's also a musician too. So he's a musician.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. And so, they really want this place to be, there's Mark over there. I mean, he's just amazing what they're trying to do. You guys got to meet.
Absolutely, I'd
and-
love to because we were just talking about that pond and how neat it would be to have a stage out.
Yeah. I mean, he can tell you, it's just, this place is it's like a new planet.
It is.
It really is. And and people go, well, it's so far. I go, you know what? So is everywhere else. But like I said, you can, you don't have to worry about parking here and having anybody bother you. You know what I mean? And they got a restaurant right here.
Get a good vibe, a good energy off of it, even when you pull in here.
Right.
I mean, it's really positive.
Yeah, you could be a songwriter from, that plays at the write-arounds everywhere else. You could be at the National Songwriting Association. You could be a rock and roll star, past or present. This is going to be a place. I mean, I feel it. And I've been in a lot of the major markets, New York. I've been all over Florida,
Absolutely.
Atlanta, and LA, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I love those places. But this is something that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's not like a little tiny. You know what I mean? We could park 1,000 cars out there if we wanted to.
It's very cool. Yeah. And it's like I said, it's got a good energy to it. And with the music, I mean, music is an international language anyway.
It is.
Doesn't matter what language you speak, everybody knows what you're putting out there and what you're saying. And
Even the most primitive cultures in the world had music.
yes.
Even the most primitive, it doesn't matter what, where, anything. Thank you. Did you guys eat something?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm smelling it though. We had before
right.
we come, but
That's
I'm
cool.
like,
That's cool.
we're gonna try it.
But so what current artists have you been like working with at all right now? Anybody in particular? I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot. If there's
No, there's a lot of different stuff going up out there. Andy in Las Vegas, Andy Rooney, he's got Spelled Moon. They're doing a lot of really great stuff with their music as well.
very cool.
Element 117's kicking butt.
Yeah.
So
And our
nice.
friend John Payne's going on tour.
Yeah.
He's band to Asia.
Johnny will be here on the 17th. I
Asia,
think.
the band Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, don't. What's that song? I mean, they had a few songs. Wow. Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. God, cool.
Yeah. So
So I love hearing stuff like that. Really cool.
He'll be here in Nashville.
Wow.
in a couple of months.
Yeah. So, we're trying to put the best of the old and the new and everything else in between and intertwine. And we just begun. This is just the beginning.
Just beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I take this to heart. I was a DJ in the nightclubs. I had to pack them with rock and roll and dance. I worked with radio stations, top
Right.
40, rock and roll, heavy metal, Detroit, big market.
Big
Market. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew all of them, Arthur Penhallow and Bob. I mean, top guys. A friend of mine, Michael J, works at iHeartRadio. He's been a country iHeartRadio DJ for years.
Sure.
He still is. And there's other people I know. And, they might even see this later. But it's like, I think that there's other ideas. When you get in line and stay in that safe lane, it's a long wait in traffic. You
It
always
is.
find when you go to Florida, you find the middle beach and the back beach roads. You get off at A1A Beachfront Avenue.
Right.
You'll never go anywhere unless, of course, you want to just gawk. But there's newer ways to getting to a better avenue.
Absolutely.
Creating an audience for any and every artist out there. I'm totally convinced of that. That's why I think what they're doing here now is just a really cool beginning. And, I mean, I'm a songwriter too. I've written countless songs, but I said, you know what? What if I help other people? I remember being a firefighter. When you help other people, there's something about it.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you, everybody that I've interviewed, like Martin, I never thought I'd become friends with him.
But Martin's real nice.
He's one of the nicest guys. I
Very cool.
had a tire blowout going to the National Songwriting Association. I was pitching a song 2 weeks ago. Not even.
Oh,
And
really?
guess who FaceTimes me? Not calls me, not texts me. Martin.
Martin.
I took a picture. I posted
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And he's goes, hey, brother. And he's on this side of town.
I was
he's
still
like-
sleeping around.
But he was like 50 miles from where I was at on
Right.
a busy day. And he
On
was
the other
going,
side of the river.
he goes, I was going to come and get you. I mean, one of the best bass players, one of the coolest rock bands in the history on the planet, and he wants to come and rescue me from the road. I was waiting for AAA for 2 hours. You know what I mean? But so that's the beauty of it. You become friends with people. You know what I mean?
And it is very small
It's
world.
like our other
Once you
buddy,
get into it.
Richie Orney, and he's the drummer for the band.
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, Richie
Sweet.
Roy. I love Richie.
Love is like oxygen.
Yep. Ballroom Blitz, all that good stuff. Did you say Ballroom Blitz?
Fox on the Run.
Fox on the Run, right? And then Danny, Danny Nova.
Yep, Danny Nova.
I think he's on his way here. He was on his way here. I gave
Is
him
he?
directions. I told him to. So yeah,
Really?
And then we got Richie Show with the Seven Bridges.
Seven Bridges.
Eagles
Yeah.
tribute.
Eagles
band.
Eagles tribute
All-
band.
all-
Very
my,
fun.
my feet is doubling. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. My feet is doubling. Is it echoing or something? I don't know. Rock and Robin posted something. My feet is doubling. Okay. So hold on. I'll check. Wait, let me just check real quick. Let me see.
Rockin' Robin.
Gonna go eat.
You guys want to go eat?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's finish the show now. We've been on for an hour
Sure.
and 12 minutes. So, Darren, pleasure to finally meet you. We're going to talk.
Pleasure.
Good to see you, bro.
Michael, man, his first. You got it. We broke their. Yeah, we won't say it. Yeah, right. Yeah, their first time. So it's no longer. You guys are now officially part of the NASDAQ thing, right? They're admins anyway, so whatever. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Fun
well,
times.
That's it. Live from Nash Talk, Saturday Night Live from the Starstruck Farm. And we might be back later, but in the meantime, have a great night. And thank you guys. Man, this is an honor.
Thank
pleasure.
you.
This was a
Thank
treat.
you, everyone.
This
All right,
is
go
a
get something. Go get something. Get out of here. All right. Thank you guys.
Good night,
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Peace.